all most folks see nowadays on our social media is us doing dirt work. Well, our background actually starts in...
Hey, I appreciate you calling me. Hey, oh my guys, we just drove, we had to back up this trailer full of rock in this backyard. And we smashed what is it, your lateral line, those chambers?
Yeah.
One of the black lids. So what do I need to do? Dig that out and I just replace that lid that's broke?
Send me a picture real quick. That is just an infiltrator chamber right there. It's actually that little nipple that's sticking up is the seam of two different chambers. So you'll need to dig, past either end. They're 4 foot long. You'll need to dig 8 feet long, 3 foot wide to get those out, and then just replace the two. But there shouldn't be that much water in a leach line for sure. So there's something else going on there, but I guess that's not your problem really. I would just inform the customer,
The new houses and shit, and like behind the house, it's kind of uphill where all this shit is, and then the septic is like on the side of the house.
We're at the seam there at the nipple. I can see the water just pouring out of that, man. Those leach lines are designed to have a little bit of effluent run into them and then down into the ground. That looks like that chamber is entirely full, so essentially that system is already filled. I just bring up to your customer that, look, man, we screwed up. We're going to replace these two chambers, but there's a big problem here.
So just dig them out, and what the lids, are they just the lids, or I gotta replace like a whole box?
Nah, for some reason everybody thinks that's like one big round circle, but an infiltrator chamber is only the top dome. It's only a half circle. You're only digging to the side of that plastic there.
So I should get the excavator in here.
I don't know, man. Maybe you should bring a mini hoe in there and dig a pit beside that line so the water can go down in that pit and let you work. Anywhere that septic effluent it touches the ground and the pit and everything, you need to cover it all with lime. It'll kill the bacteria and stuff. Technically, you're not supposed to let that be exposed, so. Or you can hand dig it all, pull the chambers out, and try to see, let that water dry out maybe. I don't know. That's going to take a while because I don't know how much is back in behind there.
I mean, they're fucking digging right now and it's just coming
filling right back up. There's a problem. There's a problem there for sure. That line shouldn't be full, especially if that's a new system. Grab your customer and say, hey, look, we screwed up. We want to fix these two chambers, but this is slam full of water. And a system, especially this new, shouldn't be failing already. So what do you want us to do? Just try to fix these two, or do you want to try to get the person who installed it back in here to look at it? That's what I would do.
Yeah, I'll let them know. You still gonna be on their call tomorrow?
Yep, I should be good for tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate it. If I need anything else, I'll give you a call. Thanks, man.
Yeah, call me and let me know how that's unfolding if you got any questions.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Just that one up there on the right.
Yeah.
I went down that side, and I pretty much got to the line on that side.
They cut more trees over there?
Who did?
Them fucking guys. I'm assuming it was them. They cut 2 or 3 more fucking trees over there. That job was done.
I don't know. I didn't look.
You have to bring the hoe down there and put it on the fire. They got one notched in the front, not back up for some reason, which it'll fall right in the middle. But there's 2 of them or 3 of them on the ground already. One that's notched. You better bring it on up there. Quarter tank and starts to pull that rust in that filter.
I'll be able to get all this on the fire today.
You gotta start it.
I don't know if I should start it today. Tomorrow morning I get started out.
Went over that way further than I thought. When I kept coming down last night at an angle, I kept seeing that caution further and further over. Everything's pretty much stumped right here, right?
Yep.
I'll tell them to go through and cut these stumps. This is the least rocky lot so far, so when I was stumping that up there, a bunch of soil was coming up with it. We don't want that down here. It's environmental. I guess walk it up here and we'll put what fuel we got in it. Troncos, en abajo, así que corta el plano.
Keep them with me.
That one pod light up there is bright.
Yeah, I seen it. I can see it in the day. I was like, damn, that's bright.
That's a lot of brush in that pile, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's tight. It'll burn fast. But it's gonna burn hot. If we're gonna burn that tomorrow. We probably need to start a little fire and pull from that.
run a store for me?
Yeah, what you need? Make some fucking sense.
Yeah. I don't understand store.
I got it. Canada.
Cool mint, 6 mil. They told me one time they were like screaming when I was driving. I fucking about passed the store.
Oh, yeah, they were trying to tell you to
I
stop.
thought they were wanting me to turn there.
Cool mint 6.
6 mil, yeah.
All most folks see nowadays on our social media is us doing dirt work. Well, our background actually starts in building, and we're a licensed GC. We started building custom homes, and we did that for many years, and that's when we started adding other services. But even furthermore behind that is, I grew up racing dirt bikes, which was a very expensive to us hobby, and so me and my dad would do side jobs here and there, and we would sell literally whatever kind of work we could sell and figure out how to do it. A lot of times that we didn't make no money doing that because we didn't know what we were doing, but we gained the knowledge and we made money to go racing. And that's kind of how I built my business. Was we just started doing small construction jobs and learning along the way, and taking advantage of every opportunity that we could to get different trainings and different classes and stuff like that to learn more about the building side of things. And then when we added a tree service, I learned how to climb. When I started the tree service, I couldn't tell you what a pine tree or an oak tree was. It took a lot of pride trying to learn that and how to climb and learn all the ropes about the tree service, so that number one, I can own, operate, and scale it as best as possible. Then we started doing our own site work on our builds because we couldn't find reliable folks to come in and do the site work and do it in a timely manner, and it was slowing our progress down. And there were several times that we missed deadlines because something happened on the site work side. So we brought some guys in who were a little experienced in doing the site work, and we just learned more and more as we went. So that's where our knowledge comes from in various different places, and it's over a lifetime. Essentially, we've been running the business for almost 11 years now, but my whole life we've just done different trades. So we've built our business basically to have multiple different businesses that kind of just wash each other's hands. They're all in the construction industry. One service can utilize the other service. One service can recommend the other service. We didn't add any other services until we got really, really good at one service, and we kind of had a crew that was self-sustained running that service. You're looking at trying to add services instead of focusing on growing and scaling a certain one. I would say you really need to corner the market on one before you start to look into something else, because competition is pretty fierce, and people are always going to look for you to get complacent and start looking in other areas. And when you do that and you take your eye off the ball, then you really don't want the one service to at any point start losing you money because you've focused your attention somewhere else. So I just say that you need to build that business to where you almost have no growth in your market, and it's very self-sustained before you try to add another service. As a caveat to that, though, it is great to have well-rounded crews who could do multiple things, so that if during slow times you don't get to a point where you're losing money, you can just kind of move guys around to do different services. So I'd take both those things with a grain of salt.